Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first inaugural recording of the Metal Office podcast. Yes, the brainchild of Mr. Gary Ingram.
Oh,
he made the mistake of saying out loud one day, we should do a podcast. And you know, I happen to be standing right there, and I've been talking about doing a podcast of some kind for a while, and I'm like, my ears perked up. I'm like, you want to do a fucking podcast? Let's do a podcast. And then, so I don't know, Al, I can't remember how Al got involved, but you were talking about maybe doing something or mentioned something you wanted to do something.
I piped in that I could help with the technical aspect.
Yeah. Of course, we want Al's beautiful smiling face in front of the camera too. So the three of us got together and we brainstormed and thought, well, what is the music scene in general? We're not just talking. I mean, three of us, for those of you who know us or don't know us, we're the three musicians. We've been in bands together. Some of us are still in bands together. But we've been playing the Chicago local music scene, both amateur and semi-professional levels, since we were all teenagers. I mean, Gary and I started when we were 16 years old. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we know a little bit about the market and the politics and the whole rigmarole about the Chicago. And I'm basically talking about hard rock and metal. This is what we do. This is our wheelhouse. If you came here to maybe listen to us talk about what we think of the, the symphony circuit or the, country and Western circuit, you're probably not going to be happy with this podcast because, we're going to talk about things we know about and people that we know. And so our intention with this thing is to, we all agree that there is a void in the market as far as media and communication. And frankly, in my opinion, there's always been in the whole atmosphere of the Chicago music scene. We've always played second or third fiddle to other big cities. And when I say Chicago, I mean the whole northern Illinois area from, the downtown clubs all the way out to Poopies. I mean, we played everywhere. Northwest Indiana. Some of you guys are hitting a couple of them clubs in Lower Michigan, I know. Some of us sneak up to the Milwaukee area and do gigs when the situation's right. And early on with some bands that I have, we ended up in Champaign and Peoria. And so the whole general area is the whole market. And we just feel that maybe it's been not so much poorly represented, but not enough voice. We don't have a big enough voice. You can't compete with New York, Nashville, LA, and now Austin, Texas. But you know what? We're here to raise our hand and say, hey, we have some of the most talented musicians and people. I mean,
yeah, I would agree with that.
Look where some of the people have gone. Look at Disturbed.
Tyler Bates.
Yeah.
Tyler Bates from, was the band? It wasn't Mind's Eye. It was one of those bands. It was a whale band. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah. Well, we're not young punks anymore, so we're going to forget things. So you guys can knock us on Facebook and fill us in on the details.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. I mean, look at a band like Disturbed. I mean, people, you'd be surprised how many times through the years.
Smash Alley was the band.
Smash Alley. Yeah. Right. People forget that when we were playing in Cribs, Styx was doing, Revis High School and stuff like that. I mean, that's a Chicago band.
My sister actually, one of her friends was dating a guy that was in Styx, and he left Styx right before they
one of the Serluskis, probably.
Probably, I'm not sure on the name.
Yeah, one of the cousins, the Serlusky family, lived near me, and I know that it was said to be a cousin. They're older than me, so I didn't know them. They lived right on 135th,
Okay.
right at there's the old farmhouse on 135th, right there by 80th Avenue. So we're hoping to kind of fill that void and talk about things that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the bands that we like or maybe dislike, and we don't mean to knock anyone, but we're going to give our professional opinion about some. If we can, throw a little advice someone's way, constructive criticism, I found always to be helpful, and I've carried that through my life through singing, all kinds
Sure.
of stuff. So I don't have thin skin when it comes to that. So we're going to start with a little introduction. So Al, why don't you go first? Tell us about who you are for people that might be, going back and listening to us a few months from now and trying to catch up on the first initial podcast, and they don't know who we are, and they'll get to know us.
Well, I'm Al, currently playing in Made in Chicago, Iron Maiden tribute. Also playing in Operation Empire, Queensryche tribute.
Badass
Yeah.
band.
Thank you. Yeah, recently, actually, it's been a while since I've been in that project. Took a little while to get it going, but it's going pretty well now.
Was that your brainchild?
No, I was pulled into it actually by Steve Reamer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Steve.
I think the bass player Babe, I think, was the one who originated it,
Okay.
and he got Matt, Travis involved, and they got Steve, and they were looking for a second guitar player, and eventually pulled me in.
Yeah.
Steve went off to do some other things, and we looked around and were able to land Al Ripka. So anybody who not familiar with him, check him out. He's got a few original projects going on. He plays in Fierce Atmospheres.
He's still with them?
Yeah.
With Eric's band?
Yeah, he still plays with them and or sings with them. He's got another one called the Core Manifold.
I am not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
I believe I saw the Core Manifold at J.J. Kelly's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
What's his name is in that?
Oh, Jose?
No, I think there's a...
Jose was on bass.
Yeah, on bass. Matt Verdon. Matt Verdon's in that.
Oh, okay.
He is?
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't seen Matt out in the circuit in a while.
Yeah. So he's got those things going on. So those are my two projects. They're my main two projects right now. Like you said, going back, we did all kind of stuff. Power Slave, Metal Years, Mindbender.
Yep.
I recently dug up some of that footage, by the way.
What
It's
was
some good stuff.
Mindbender? I'm not familiar with that.
That was with Brent was singing.
Who?
Yep.
Brent Capps was singing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, for a while there, I think Kevin was in the band with us, wasn't he?
It was originally Kevin and Bobby,
Yeah.
me and you,
Yeah.
and Brent, but it was Grave Danger.
Yeah. We kind of went back and forth with names.
And then
Grave Danger.
Grave Danger,
That sounds like a really good high school band name.
Yeah. I think it was so good, somebody else had the name, and they started giving me menacing phone calls or
Oh
something.
boy.
But yeah.
so
Take my name, man.
Just so you know, it's copywritten.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
okay.
Yeah. Big hits.
Yeah.
So it ended up being Mindbender,
Yeah.
but at that point it was just Gary, myself, and Brent, and a drummer, which I can't remember that kid's name. We
Yeah.
landed some kid drummer. He was kid at the time. He was a few years younger than us, but he was killer.
Really?
And we played. We actually
Remember his name?
No, I can't remember at all. Maybe if he ever watches, he'll say, "Hey, that was me."
I
And
know
I
you
have
were
a
taking
video.
lessons from Toshi, and we got a couple good gigs opening up for, was it Tony McAlpine?
Tony McAlpine, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That was kind of the highlight of that little thing.
Yeah.
He hooked
That's
us up with that show.
badass.
That was cool.
Cool.
So yeah, that's a little bit of past and present for me.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm I work at ExxonMobil,
Nice.
the refinery in Shanahan.
That's that big stinky place on I-55 everyone passes. I know because I go past every time going fishing to Heideke Lake. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it can smell, but that's the business.
Cool. What else you want to tell us about yourself? You're a
That's
guitar player.
play guitar, couple of bands. I like video. I like all this stuff, video, audio, production, tech, geeky stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's another one of my little talents, or at least try to be.
So how
talented
much,
with.
how much sound recording stuff have you played with over the years since you've been doing that? As far as just strictly audio, have you just your own personal stuff?
Yeah,
Working on your
pretty much
ideas?
just my own stuff. Some cover stuff, playthroughs like you see on YouTube. Somebody just sits
Yeah.
down and plays along with a song, and
Oh yeah, you have a
There's a song.
YouTube channel. You guys got to check out his YouTube
Yeah.
channel. We
Yeah.
recently, the three of us recently did something for Al. Is it Technical XTC or something?
Technical XTC. Yeah, but that's where I got that one, and that one's going to be on this channel.
Okay.
But I also have Band Spy. So if
Band
you've ever
Spy.
looked for Band Spy on YouTube,
Okay.
that one is where I've done multi-camera recordings of different bands. I got tons of different bands on there. I do it for Made in Chicago most of the time.
Yeah. Local performing bands.
Local performing bands. Any band, I get the opportunity, I'll go out and set up a bunch of cameras, record it all, bring home all the footage, mix it, cut it,
Yeah.
and put the audio together.
And I remember when I was in Made in Chicago, you first started getting into that, doing the multi-camera shoot, and we did most of it with GoPros.
Yeah.
And when the audio you'd pick up, I remember you had an iPad in the back of the room with a little Zoom microphone attached to it or
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
I couldn't believe how like that. Remember the metal grill?
Yeah. Yeah.
The video and audio
Yeah.
of that was like captured in a way that I've never seen a local band. That's my favorite gig, I think, of all the gigs that I've done with Made in Chicago. And you really got really well with that. So if you guys want to see good footage of different local bands, go on Band Spy. How do they
Spy.
find you on Band Spy?
There's a Facebook page,
Okay.
and then there's that should take you to the
And it's
YouTube channel.
called?
YouTube channel, just Band Spy, I
Oh.
guess. I don't know. You probably just have to look it up.
So you don't have
Search
like a
it.
separate is Band
I don't have
Spy.
a .com or nothing like that.
No, does Band Spy the platform, or is that Band Spy is your?
No, Band
that's
Spy.
your
That's
name?
just the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Band Spy. If you go on Facebook, you'll find Al's
Facebook
work
or on
there.
YouTube. Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. I would strongly suggest checking it out. It's very cool. All right, and so next we have Mr. Gary Ingram.
All right. Well, I mean, a lot of people are probably familiar with our work together, all three of us. Made in Chicago, last 15 years. Been a blast. And Hard Rock Radio, that's my two joys right now. Keeps me busy enough.
Yeah, and many ventures in between through the years.
Oh, God. If I had to list all the bands, I'll keep it short.
If I had a nickel for every
Right. God. I got to look at these up. Sybil. That was a good band. Silent Lucidity. Another one loaded with talented guys.
You were in Silent Lucidity?
Briefly, yeah.
I'm not sure I ever actually
I was
saw that.
in Silent Lucidity at the same time Len was doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Detox. The name fit the band. Wicked World was another tribute. That was a Sabbath band. And there's been a few like cover bands that were half cover, half original bands that never really
Yeah.
developed too much. But yeah, there's way too many to list.
Yeah. And you are a bass player,
Yes, I am.
and you are known to be the Midwest
Oh God.
Steve Harris.
Yes, I guess.
That's okay. I'm called the Midwest something else too. so
Right. Yes, we know.
Sometimes the asshole, but that's okay. I've been called worse.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Not at this time. Nope. That covers myself.
Well, it doesn't cover it because you didn't talk about where we're at. Where are we sitting? The reason why
I should have said I'm an entrepreneur too. I own the
Yes.
metal office.
So the metal office is the beautiful studio we're sitting in. Gary built this 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years now.
So it's hosted many a party,
Oh, yeah.
and and many a bear games. I understand.
Yeah.
And it's become an institution in itself. So when we talked about the podcast, I said we can't. Why create a whole different persona or product?
Right.
We've got this.
Sure.
Everyone is our friends associate Gary to this place. So that's our product, and we grow from there. And I think a lot of our friends are gonna appreciate that, because they're gonna watch a podcast and go, "I got drunk there," and
as the sign indicates.
Yes.
what does it say? Oh,
No one
morning,
gets out of here
nobody
sober.
gets out sober.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully, Al, during the intro is going to be, doing like a pan. We're running in a 360 camera too, so we're going to get some cool shots. And this is our logo, which we put together. Thanks, Al, for that too. Al worked really hard on that. So yeah, this is it seemed fitting. It seemed like a natural thing. We're not like superstar persona, we're not the Chips enough of the, I mean, we don't have, if he was to do, someone like that would do a podcast, it doesn't matter where he would do it, because
Right. Yes.
he's a personality, where we're guys that have just played in a lot of bands, like, but now people associate this place with you and, what you do and what we do. And so many people have come here for parties,
Yeah.
and you and Debbie have hosted them. Everyone loves this place. Everyone comes here and hangs out. This is like a cool place to hang
Yeah,
out.
if they come in from the outside and they walk up and they're, oh God, we're going to hang out in the shed, and then they come in here and it's like not
Like,
exactly what they
dude.
expected. And it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's
So-
like you got like the Sean Ryan bar behind you. That's cool. I don't know. It's just cool. He's got multiple TVs. Just not quite enough Iron Maiden stuff. I think you need more Iron
we need
Maiden.
to step up our game. I
Yeah,
think.
it's lacking in the Iron Maiden.
We need somewhere to put all those googly eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Where'd the googly eyes come
Oh
from?
yeah. Yeah, shout out to the googly eye girl. I think we
Yeah,
know. I
good
think
old
we all know who you
Steven and
are.
Doreen, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I am Bill Swanson. I am a singer, and let's see. Whew. I started out young with Gary, actually, with a half hybrid original cover band called very different, rotations of names. Ended up being Myth towards the end, but then I was in my first Iron Maiden tribute was Tail Gunner, which when Brent Sullivan and I got a hold of it and took it over, we made it Revelations, and that had a good run. And that's where I really started crafting my sort of my Bruce Dickinson techniques, and because I never really sang any Bruce Dickinson until that. And then I took a little hiatus, and of course Gary dragged me into Made in Chicago, and I didn't want to do it at first, but when you meet guys like Dan Driscoll, you just kind of like he's like a lovable teddy bear, and, you just no, it just worked out. It had a good feel, and so we did the Made in Chicago thing. I think I was there the first 5 years,
Yes.
6 years,
Yep.
and now they're in 9 years post me with Tehran,
Sounds right.
and something like that, 8 years, 8 or 9, and so because we're coming up on the 15th year of Made in Chicago, and I'm also the singer of Gary's Hard Rock Radio. And
Hard Rock Radio, not Gary's Hard Rock Radio.
it's Gary's Hard Rock Radio. Everybody knows it's Gary's Hard Rock Radio.
Okay.
But Hard Rock Radio, and we're gaining traction. We just did a gig with Operation Empire recently, and
Yeah.
it was
Great show.
a huge, phenomenal success. Everyone loved it. And two great bands. We go good together. We got to do some more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set them up.
I mean,
Set
I'm
some
not
up.
sure we're ready to sell at the Forge, but So I'm kind of like a semi-retired guy, and owned a family business for a while, and now I'm not doing much anything but hanging out and make sure my kids are on the straight and narrow, like a lot of us are. I played around with some original projects. I like to help Brent Sullivan once in a while with some of his stuff. It's a lot of fun, and that's about it. So, the next order of business, let's really talk about what we're going to try. This first podcast can be more like informative,
Right.
It's a discussion. What's our intention? What are we going to do? What are people going to be looking forward to in the future? It's going to be wild and crazy, strippers and blow later on. But tonight, it's serious. It's serious business. We want to lay out for the people, why should they, with all the different podcasts, and we're not trying to compete with anyone. Let's get that straight right now. We're not in this to be.
As far as podcasts go, I think we're pretty local orientated as opposed to some of those that are really like nationally based.
Yeah, right. So we want to focus in pretty much, like I said, on the general music scene, the bar scene, some of the venues that have both national acts, the tribute scene, the cover bands. I know we can talk about if we come across good stand-up comics that are local. I used to own a bar. I hired a couple in the past for a short stint. I did that. There's a lot we could do in the entertainment, just in the Chicago scene in the suburbs. We have a vast, deep dugout of musician friends that we can tap into for guests if we want to do guests.
Sure.
We've talked about doing that. I don't know if we've got room for the whole band thing. This isn't the Howard Stern show, but if maybe we bring someone in that represents a band and they just talk about their band, promote their stuff, talk about, what their approach to the industry, talk about the industry. We're not really so much in the actual big industry as a whole, but we can talk about, our frustration with what's happened over the last couple of decades with the music industry, because we're music lovers too.
Yeah, I think there's a big vacuum now because the print industry is kind of just falling on its face and everything's kind of revolved around the internet.
Yeah.
The Illinois Entertainer used to be this thick, and now it's like this,
Yeah.
Just one of those things.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Al, do you usually pretty much all on the internet, any information, Facebook? I'm pretty much a Facebook, Instagram guy. You not so much YouTube for local stuff unless I'm directed there, but where do you go for info?
For info on local music?
Local, national acts coming through town.
Well, I'm more of a YouTube person. I watch
YouTube.
I watch YouTube more than I watch any regular TV. So anything music-wise, I get it mostly from there, unless it's local, which then it's more the Facebook, as whoever I know and what they share.
Is there any? I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I like to watch video podcasts. I do.
That's part of it.
I'm not a YouTube TV guy. I'm thinking about getting it, but is there any local advertising on any of that stuff?
I don't know. I have premium, so I don't see ads.
That's true. I got premium too.
Yeah,
I don't really see ads.
But that would be a good question. I guess we can find out.
It seems like there would be an opportunity for someone to do like a local market showcase of some kind, or a magazine of some kind, a video magazine that's centered around areas of the country, like the Chicago magazine or the Green Bay magazine, if there's even such a thing. But it seems like there's something, because that's what TV used to do, and things like The Entertainer.
Yeah.
But
wasn't there another local magazine called Chicago Rocker?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I seem to remember
guy out of Indiana.
Well, that was Beat Magazine.
Oh, that was Beat,
That was
that's right.
Tom Lounges, I believe.
Yeah, Tommy Lounges. Yeah.
But I remember they recorded video way back before YouTube was popular,
Really?
because
That just-
one of our Power Slave shows was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah,
And they own the footage of that, probably.
yeah. I don't
Are they
even
completely
remember where
gone?
I saw it. It's not like it was on TV or
Who was
YouTube.
the head of that? You remember?
No.
That's going way back, dude.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there remembers anything about that,
I remember. It was a little chintzy magazine.
yeah.
So, all right, this is going to be my first complaint session. Gary brought up Illinois Entertainer. I personally have never been a fan. I tried and I tried and I tried. I subscribed. In Revelations, I spent thousands of dollars with those people advertising. Thousands. And I don't know. I don't think they ever gave the industry, when I say industry, I'm talking the Chicago music industry. Everybody as one community. That's when I say industry on this podcast, that's what I'm referring to. I'm not talking about, Motley Crue or Iron Maiden or anything. Because obviously that kind of stuff is easy to write about in any magazine, But if I open up that page of the Illinois Entertainer and see another stupid article about Liz Phair or someone like that, I'm going to throw up. It's like,
They're definitely catering to an audience that I'm not part of.
no. It was more XRT based.
Yeah.
And to their credit, I think they're still around, so they're the only other radio station that survived, and it's big and everything. But then maybe they should just run it as a WXRT affiliate. But there wasn't a lot of anything else for the rest of us,
Right.
other than
The classified ads.
yeah, oh yeah, classified ads.
Those are awesome.
That was like getting the secret decoder ring from what was that? The Christmas Story.
Little Orphan Annie.
What?
Little Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie. Yeah. And a Thirsty Whale full page ad, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
And the J.J. Kelly's had like a full page
Yeah.
for a while. So we're going to get to all those fine establishments. That's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about. But I just think that there's a void, and there's been a void for many, many years in this. So we're going to attempt to close that gap and do it with as much sarcasm as possible, and hopefully not piss off too many people.
No, we're not here for that.
No, everything is just tongue in cheek. If we throw a joke your way, we expect you to be here and have a beer in the metal office this Sunday with Gary, and there's no hard feelings. We're here to have fun, and sometimes I'm the butt of that fun, and I don't have any problem with that at all. So what do you guys want to talk about as far as like our friends, fellow musicians, the people that have supported us and, enabled us to still do this at the age that we're at? We're pushing, we're past the 50 mark, and we're still doing the same thing we were doing in high school.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to
I
say
got a couple
about
people
that?
to blame. I could probably blame Brent Sullivan or Sean Barnes or somebody like those
man.
two for
Blame, is that really the right
well, like they kept me into it, So without them, I probably
and that's a positive thing, right?
yeah, they're monsters.
Yeah.
There's loads of people though,
What about friends? People that have supported you.
I think
personally.
it's very hard to keep friends in the business, but some of the people that I've managed to be friends with despite the business, people like Jody from Superfly Redneck, and like we mentioned Sean and Brent and Dimitri from Rising Fall. I could go on, but that's where I'll start.
Yeah.
Those are all bass players,
Of course, yeah.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's like a bass players union club. Yeah.
That kind of went over my head. Yeah.
You didn't catch that, did you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the opposite for singers. Most singers don't want to talk to other singers.
Oh, sure.
That's why I always make a point.
Well, it was pretty cool Saturday night when you got together with Al Ripka and did that little scream together.
The
That
first
was
time I
badass.
saw him, I grabbed the hold of him. I said, listen, you and I are friends. We're never enemies. You are awesome. Don't stop what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I learn from people like you. And, I try and say that to everyone. If I think a singer is putting in 100% like I am, and they have some little bit of natural talent, you know, you got my full support.
Yeah.
Because it is not flipping easy going out there and doing
Hell
that
no.
in front of a crowd with nothing but a little microphone in your hand. So, you know, I have tons of respect for all other singers. But there's always, I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but there's always some kind of like, used to be an issue.
Yeah, sometimes.
Bass players don't have that, huh?
Not really. There's not a lot of cattiness with bass players, you know?
Yeah. And with guitar players, it's fucking talking about gear all the time. That's all they want to talk about. They don't give a fuck about anything else.
Right.
Dude, you got a chord, mine's broke.
I think bass players get along because they technically can't play in a band together. Because there's
That's
never
true.
two bass players.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Although
there's
I
been
did
talk
do
about some Spinal Tap action.
Yes, I did do a Big Bottom once at a
Yes.
jam night with a couple bass player
And
friends.
if I remember, the conversation in the room was, what if we did this?
Right.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Al's adjusting to technical things. He is our technical producer. I'll tell you really quick what all our jobs here are. I'm like the maitre d' or I'm going to put together, you know, what we do and how we do it, like an outline and overall set of organization. Gary's providing the venue and, of course, the electric power and all the atmosphere and obviously creative preferences through this thing. And Al is 100% the technical part of it. He's gonna process all this stuff, the video and the audio. He's gonna match it up into the podcast, and he's the one who's gonna produce it and upload it. So, big shout out to Al. You know, thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be able to do
It's
that.
way beyond my scope.
Yeah, it's way beyond my pay grade. I'm lucky, you know, sometimes I can get up in the morning and tie my shoes. But Al, I mean, don't you think that also the friends that you've met in this environment, in the community, the music community, have also helped you stay in it? And, you know, some musicians and non-musicians, don't you think that's been a vital part for you too?
Oh, yeah. I think that there's non-musician, there is a huge crowd of people who are very committed and loyal to going to shows. And they don't care if you play the same songs over and over. We try to change it up, but sometimes the show is almost the exact same thing. We're still putting everything into it, but there's a lot of them that are still there. So that's probably a big thing that makes me want to keep going out.
Yeah.
Every time, no matter what band it's in. And that goes for any one of them.
That's another thing that we talked about working into the show is, you know, some of these people that are big supporters of all ours, and they're always there every freaking weekend. You know, and we should have a shout out for them when we have time to do that.
Well, more than a shout out, we've talked about bringing some of them in as guests too. You know, maybe we could. What if we did it? I got an idea. What if we brought a group of them? You know, like, you know, when they do the opinion polls and stuff on the news. I know Fox News and I think CNN does it too, where they talk about candidates and they have like a group of people and they bounce questions off them.
Yeah,
sure.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give them some beer and pizza and
Yeah.
Like you say, there's not a lot of room here, but I think we
it'd
can
be
make it.
perfect.
There's room. We can.
Yeah.
We can work it out.
We just got to put like one of the cameras on them. So, okay. So, I mean, we're just in the infancy in this thing. So, you know, ideas are, you know, we're going to have ideas and, you know, we have, you know, we're going to put this out where our goal is to be once a month to put out a podcast and like a magazine type, you know, show. And we'll just add and subtract things as we go along. But, yeah, one of the things that you said, you know, I thought of when you were talking, Al, is there are times this group of people you're talking about, they show up for everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, your bands, my bands, his bands, we're
any
all
of the
playing together.
Any of the other bands as well.
Side projects with a few of them. They're big into this Monsters of Rock cruise. They do on that together.
Yep.
There's a bunch of them that do that. You know, there's, you know, it's quite a community, and these are people are not necessarily musicians, but they show up at every one of our gigs and they support. And to be honest with you, there's sometimes when I walk into a place and I'm not motivated to do it either, 100%. But you see them there, and
I really, that makes me feel better when they are there. Less
Yes.
musicians taking
Yes.
up those seats,
yeah, right,
judging you, right?
right, because
So-
they're going to support us either way, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's awesome. And some of the clubs that we wandered in some of our other bands through the years, where you go to a new place, you don't know anybody, and you're trying to win everybody over, and they're just stand there like this.
Yeah, well, we know we can't please everybody, right?
You played that chord wrong. You're not gonna. But yeah, shout out to them, and we're gonna get to you guys. We're gonna do something where I know it's in the back of my mind. You're waiting for us to mention names, and we're not gonna mention names yet.
All right,
So-
my bad.
Yeah. Well, that's all Gary gave you. But we're gonna.
It was a hint. Just a
we're
hint.
gonna do something for the fans. We're gonna call them super fans at this point, and they are very close friends. And we love you guys. You know who you are. And but then there's the musician level, people that are close to us that are fellow musicians.
Mm-hmm.
The Brent Sullivans, Jody, all these guys
All right.
who have been on the trail slightly ahead of us, and but have kept it going through the years, and never any negative aspects or connotations on anything, whether it's friendship within the rock community in Chicago or even outside. We've attended a lot of stuff with these people because they're close friends of ours, families, whatever. And they're awesome. They continue to inspire us, and and now a few of them for sure, have very, very, very good original projects that need to be spotlighted,
Without a
because
doubt.
that's really what this is all about. I mean,
Yeah.
three hacks like us can get up there and play War Pigs, but but to write and record a viable piece of music in this environment with that kind of music, it's an uphill in the wind. It's not easy. You're not like you're looking for a record deal anymore, because that stuff doesn't exist. So you're really blazing out in the middle of nowhere. So it's got to be just for the love of what you do. And there's some very talented people that are close to us, and we plan to bring them into the fold and highlight them, bring them in as guests. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but we're going to do that.
Figure it out.
Just to name a few, some of the bands that recently I have seen and I know have been playing that I think are just absolutely phenomenal. We talked about we got some gigs coming up with our bands, and you're doing a gig with Jake's bands. Jake's got two bands, Witchhammer, he's got Witchhammer's original
yeah.
gig, and he's got the Youth Gone Wild, right?
Mhm.
The Skid Row band,
Yep.
and then
Wild Child.
Wild Child, which
Wasp.
is the Wasp tribute band. This dude is
Not to mention he's in a Nickelback band too.
Oh, he fronts the
With Brent's
Nickelback,
band,
yeah,
yeah.
with Brent and everything. I forgot about that. So this cat, he's nuts. He's younger though. He can handle it.
Yeah.
But he's got a great voice. He's got a superb attitude and personality. So shout out to him. We're gonna have to have him on at some point. And then you got Steve, who just left Hard Rock Radio.
Yep.
And he's been replaced by Dave, but he has a band called The Rising Fall.
Yep.
And with your buddy Dimitri. And
Love their stuff.
they're not, I wouldn't say they're the cutting edge metal, but they figured out the way they write songs, and and I've listened to them quite a bit now, and I think they're excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're excellent, because I personally like to hear a little bit of that retro style of arrangement and sound, and I don't know where they got in with whatever that recording studio is. The last couple recordings, it sounds great.
It's a nice combination of old school and new
It
school.
is. It's a great mix.
Yeah.
Fantastic band. So look up The Rising Fall. And then Brad and those guys, and Yet Again. they just played a gig with Midnight Calls, right?
Yes.
And with Toronzo, the band, and were at JMO's Live. Both bands, I've seen both of those bands together now twice or three times, and they're both on another level now. I think they've tightened up. I know they've had some member changes in the bands, but their writing is excellent. It has a trendiness to it. I wouldn't say it maybe one band maybe has a old school feel to it, but it's that's the in thing now too. So they're really at a point where I think that they're just writing fantastic. They're sounding great. Who else we got? Al, that guy Al from your band. He's in some original stuff, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with his original stuff. I know that he fronts Fierce Atmospheres.
Yeah.
I've seen that performance. That's the first time I had ever heard the guy sing. And I was blown away. I'm like, this guy's good.
Yeah, he's got that, and like I said before, the core manifold.
The core manifold. I'm going to be everyone do your homework at home with me because I haven't checked that out. So, do you think Core Manifold's got a YouTube page, or are they still on MySpace, or what are we doing?
I think they still. I think they have. I'll find out more information on that.
So we're going to be launching before we launch this. It is 2 weeks pre the launch of this podcast. We're recording, and then we're going to do the production, and then we're going to let it go. The first week of February is when you're going to be watching this. But in that meantime, we're going to launch, media stuff, Facebook page. We're going to launch the YouTube channel, the Metal Office podcast. It's all going to be its own stuff. So what I'd like you guys to do that are in these original bands, we'll start with that. On a regular basis, send myself or, a message to the Metal Office podcast message on Messenger, or you guys, everyone, you guys all know us, send us a message. Keep us up to date at what's going on with your band. We will mention it. We will talk about it. That's what we're here for. We want to help
Absolutely.
you guys. You guys are ultra talented, and you deserve all the recognition that you could get. So we're gonna work towards that. So tell Al the same thing. I'll reach out to Eric for Fierce Atmospheres. He does a lot of self-promotion on his own, where he does pretty good on that. So if you haven't seen Fierce Atmospheres all over your Facebook page, you will. Well, let's see what's up on upcoming gigs for us. So Al is in Operation Empire and Made in Chicago. And what do you got coming up for Operation Empire?
We will be at Avenue 912 on February the 20th, Friday night, with Killer of Giants.
Ooh,
it's another
Killer of Giants.
Yeah.
Absolutely killer. Ozzy, mostly. Did they do any old Sabbath?
Yeah,
they do some, right?
Yeah, they do some. Yeah.
I've only seen them a couple times, but very good. They do a very good job.
From down south.
Yeah. What town are they out of?
Bloomington, I believe. I thought they were.
All right. Well, they're in our wheelhouse.
Yep.
So maybe one of us should reach out to them, tell them about the podcast, and the guy who fronts them, he might be a good character to have on, huh?
Matt? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good time.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Is he? Okay. I don't know any of those guys, but it should be a good pairing. You two guys. How's that room? I haven't been to that. It's like the only room of the newer rooms I haven't been to.
It's nice. I like it.
Is it nice?
It's pretty much a banquet hall, but they have bands in there too. It's well done.
Full blown sound system.
A corner bar that comes out. It's not like a regular stage, but it serves its purpose.
Avenue 912.
Yeah.
Griffith, Indiana.
Griffith, Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? You got anything else coming up? Any other like things happening in you music wise, or that you want to talk about?
We got Made in Chicago shows coming up.
Okay.
And one of them, if I can skip to it, is at the Forge April 18th.
Oh, that's going to be big.
That is going to be the 15-year anniversary.
Oh, that's going to be big.
So that one's going to be pretty big.
At the Forge.
Yeah.
Get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Are they for sale yet?
I think so, yeah. I mean, the event's on.
So, yeah,
Oh,
definitely shout out to FM Entertainment.
Yeah.
Him, Onesti, there's a couple guys who have just turned the entertainment business on its head and have saved this area. And those are two guys, you know, I'm sure there's other ones out there. Maybe they're in other type industries other than the rock. But these two guys have hit it out of the park. In my opinion, the Forge, that's my favorite place to play. Not only is it close to home and all that, but you know, I've met Frank once or twice through the years through Made in Chicago.
Yeah,
great guy, works his ass off. He's got a great group of people. Always has fantastic talent in that place, fantastic. And for him to let you host the 15-year anniversary of Made in Chicago, is there what is there going to be an opening band for that, or what are you guys going to do?
Well, actually, Matt's Killer of Giants is going to be on the bill, and so is Al's Queensryche Band.
Oh, really? So, Made in Chicago, Killer of Giants, and Operation Empire?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And some surprises for the...
Yeah, we might
surprises.
even have some throwbacks from back in the day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So leading up
Not
to that...
naming names.
Do I got to dust off my spandex for the Bruce gig?
You got to forewarn us on that one.
Oh, boy. Well. So, yeah, the plan is for a few of us retired Made in Chicagoites, we may pop on stage for a song or two. I'll give Toronto rest for a couple songs or one. And then, did Eric get back to you? Is he going to make it?
I haven't talked to Eric.
I did. Yeah. I think he is.
Okay.
And I think even Ralph is.
Ralph's going to come up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
and then...
and leading up to that, there's going to be some other surprises about the history of Made in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So,
where are people going to find that, or where are they going to be looking for that?
That's
through the Made in Chicago.
going to be through
page?
Made in Chicago Facebook page and YouTube.
Okay.
So they'll get a little bit of history of.
So if you're not
how it
following Made in
started.
Chicago on Facebook, it definitely is a very it's a mammoth page, and there's always a lot of good information on there, and always up to date. And Al says he's got surprises coming for that. So, you wanna what else? What do you got going with Hard? You want to talk about anything else with Made in Chicago coming up? Or?
No, that about covers that. I mean, we have a gig with Hard Rock Radio and Made in Chicago on the 28th of February at J.J. Kelly's.
J.J. Kelly's.
Good old legendary J.J. Kelly's.
Shout out to Vince.
Yeah, God bless him.
Man.
It's been a long time.
Where would we be in this area, in this industry, without guys like Vince Kelly?
We would have moved north a long time ago, probably.
Probably would have moved north. Yeah. It's still a great venue. They've brought in. They've had good sound men there as of late, and it's always a good time. It's still a small, quaint little room that, if you can't dominate that room, maybe you might think about getting a different hobby, because it's a good place. It's a good place. Everyone's always locked in usually if you're having a good gig, and if you're having a bad gig, you're gonna have not very many people are gonna witness it. But
Right.
But it's always a good venue. So it's Hard Rock Radio with open up for Made in Chicago at JJ Kelly's on February 28th.
Correct.
Okay. So, I don't know. We've been at this for an hour and 10 minutes or so. We want to make sure we get enough film and audio for Al to do his chop suey, and make what do you call it? What is it? Hibachi out of this, and for everyone else to devour. So, how do we gonna wrap this up? I mean, what do we want to say to the people out there, how they can engage with us on this?
Well, I mean, they have to start with the comments, right? Chime in, tell us what you think, tell us what you think we should do, that kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Suggestions.
Yeah. Tell us,
Gary
give us
should,
a band you
not
like.
we don't
that
want
we
to hear
didn't
like
mention.
Gary should wear more makeup or anything like that.
Well, I mean, that's inevitable.
I see you took off your reading glasses for the podcast, Gary.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to look all young. It's not
Well, he
working.
wrote his notes pretty big, though.
Yeah, I'm
so.
going to have to even write them bigger, I think, next time.
Al's trying to hide behind my 360 camera, but it's not working good.
Oh, that picks up
You
everything.
got like this dark, like shadowy
Is it?
thing. Yeah, you're looking pretty menacing. So, that's good. I like it suits you. So
Yeah.
we're gonna keep the lighting design and camera, everything is Al's creative work here. So, we don't mind criticism. I'd rather see it in the form of suggestions. Hey, I'd really like for you guys to talk about this kind of stuff. And today we're being very broad. That's it. It's a broad brush. We don't know where this is going to take us 5-6 months down the road. We don't know how long we're going to do this. If we can make it a year and get a couple hundred subscribers or followers, we'll consider it a success. We'll see where it goes from there. I don't know, Al. What do you think? How do you think people should engage with us? What do you think the best method is?
Well, subscribe, like, share. That's all the kind of the catchphrases all the
Right.
YouTubers say.
Right.
But yeah, leave it in the comments.
YouTube will be the primary avenue for us.
Yeah,
So,
I think we'll be able to spread it through our individual Facebooks
right.
to the people that we have more contact with than the actual YouTube page. But hopefully they come to the YouTube page and engage in this. And once it gains traction, people from wherever who search in general podcasts about music may stumble upon it.
Yeah, even people from outside the area.
Yeah.
They may see this podcast down the road and say, "Wow, man, there's some cool shit going on. Somebody's finally trying to, open the book on Chicago a little more, and we could draw attention, maybe get other people involved. I don't know. We'll see. We don't know where it's going to go.
Right. It's so easy to fall down a rabbit hole on YouTube, too. So
Yeah,
you just type
yeah.
in one little thing, and the algorithm just grabs you, and they don't let go. And you're just,
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're exposed to a million podcasts like this.
Cool. So, like I said, we're not in competition with anyone. We just want to do it because we want to scratch an itch, right?
Sure.
So, what do you guys think? We're done. It's a wrap for the first one.
That's enough time for me. I'm not used to talking this long.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening, and we're going to see you in 1 month.